Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're freezing here. Are we freezing up? Just something here because it seems we've got freezing up. We're fine. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports Live. And we are going to be talking Mayweather versus Mcgregor. For those of you who tuned in early on to watch our special on the Andre Ward story, I did drop it to you then that Mayweather-McGregor was August the 26th. And almost an hour or an hour and a half later, it's official by three men: McGregor, Mayweather, and Dana White. So we did mention to you about an hour before then, or a few hours beforehand. If you go back and look at my video with for the Andre Ward story and Andre Ward versus Kovalev 2, you'll hear that I did announce Mayweather McGregor is on. So let's cut to the chase on this. There's so many things to talk about this fight. I'm good, Sean. Mr. P. O'Neill, good to see you in the room. Now, the first thing you'll hear from most, and there's a lot of this in boxing. There's a lot of contradictions within boxing and boxing fans. And I call these people who just want to be heard. And you're going to hear these sort of people. McGregor versus Mayweather. I'm not watching that. I'm not paying to watch that. Yeah. Okay. So then the same people the next morning or 2 hours later on will tell you Mayweather versus Pacquiao, that was a shit fight. Well, how did you know it was a shit fight if you didn't watch the fight? So, and it's very difficult nowadays not to watch a boxing bout. You don't have to pay for it because people are streaming it live via Facebook, on Twitter, over YouTube. So it's very difficult for you to make the excuse, oh, I'm not going to watch the fight, unless you're going to basically go out for the night and forget about it all. It's a huge fight. Boxing meets UFC, or UFC meets boxing. The best in the world, or the pound for pound number one fighter in the world, Mayweather, or was, he's 40 now, versus supposedly the best guy in the UFC, but I would probably argue that anyway. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this fight. It's great because it's the opportunity for two worlds to come together. People point out to the fact that McGregor has some boxing ability. He boxed when he was younger. They talk about what he's done at the UFC, but you really can't compare any of the guys at the UFC that most of the guys that McGregor has fought. He's been faster than he tailor-made, flat-footed type of guys that have that McGregor has basically taken the task and landed the left hand on. In the world of Mayweather, some of the biggest names in the sport, from Canelo to Pacquiao to Cotto to you can just go through a list, of world champions, former world champions, current world champions who've tried to nail Mayweather, hurt Mayweather, and knock Mayweather out, and it's not happened. Far better boxers, far more accomplished fighters, people have been in the ring and have got legendary careers, have not been able to beat Floyd Mayweather. Somehow, somewhere, this man, McGregor, is going to do the almost impossible and beat Floyd Mayweather. Okay. There's many questions to be asked. As you know, Floyd is the ultimate negotiator around the table, and he'll be getting over 100 million for the fight, first and foremost. this fight could potentially make more money than a Pacquiao fight, because you're thinking about two sports coming together. You've got the world of the UFC and you've got the world of boxing coming together. I spoke to Russell Hartley, and in one of the videos he said, I quote, well, why don't we just get the rugby team and the football team to play against one another? Tell you what, why don't we get the tennis team and the basketball team to play against one another? Why don't we just do crossovers all the time? And I can understand where you got it. Where does the line draw? It's a mockery. For me, I personally, it's mockery, because you've got a guy never been 12 rounds, that's never done 6 rounds, never had a professional bout, fighting a guy who is the creme de la creme. How do I put that example to you? That'd be like me having knocking about in the park playing football with my mates, and then all of a sudden I'm going to go and play rugby for, I used to be a winger, and I'm going to go inside, I'm going to play rugby for the national side. And I've got tremendous pace. I've got great pace, but I'm suddenly going to step from that to playing elite sport. And it's just a huge gap. The only way McGregor closes the gap and beats Floyd Mayweather is if he lands the left hand. And he'll have to do something that Judah couldn't do. He'll have to do something that Robert Guerrero couldn't do. He'll have to do something that a lot of southpaws couldn't do, which is land, hurt Floyd, and beat Floyd. The only thing that potentially McGregor could have in his favor is that Floyd is now 40 years old, and Father Time beats us all, and we all may think that we look great in the gym and all the rest of it, but he's 40 years old now. Floyd's been out the ring a while, but he's a smart man. He's a smart cookie, negotiating around the table. People need to think about this. Well, McGregor's fighting. Well, Floyd's gone 12 rounds. How many times? How much has McGregor gone 12 rounds? Okay. 10-ounce gloves. Is he going to wear 10-ounce gloves? Will he be allowed to wear punches gloves? Will he get to pick what gloves he wears? Will he get to pick what size ring it is? All these things, how big's the ring going to be? You could have a situation where Floyd picks a huge ring and McGregor's spending the whole night trying to catch Floyd. As he tries to catch Floyd, he's getting countered all night long. People say, oh, Floyd is not a big puncher. Okay. He hit hard enough to keep Canelo, honest. He hit hard enough to hit Cotto honest. Those guys, there's no guy has walked straight through Floyd. I mean, let's put it this way. Would you stick McGregor in the ring with Marcos Maidana? Really? Would you really stick him in the ring with Canelo? Would you really stick him in with Miguel Cotto? Would you stick him in with, Pacquiao? You really would. When you start thinking about it, you really wouldn't. But for some reason, Floyd, he's beatable. Yeah, Floyd's whooped all their asses. But, he's just got that chance, McGregor. He's just got that chance. He's got a puncher's chance, and that's it. That is all the chance McGregor's got in this fight. That's it. Just a puncher's chance. I don't know what Floyd's going to do in terms of adjusting to McGregor's style. McGregor's got that wide stance as it is. So with that wide stance he has, that's going to prevent him from getting out of the way of shots. So he's going to be easy to get hit with a straight right hand, and he's not going to be able to get away with it. He's going to be walking onto straight right hands all night long. There's a science that's in the sport of boxing. Speed, distance, and timing. How's McGregor going to deal with these things? How's he going to deal with a guy that, as McGregor tries to throw a shot, Floyd's there, he's in and he's out, he's gone. What's McGregor going to do when his left hand, he throws his favored left hand, and Floyd's slipping it and countering him? What's McGregor going to do then? What's McGregor going to do when he's not the guy that's on top, or he's not the guy that's, what's going to happen when he's in a ring with a guy who's technically far better than him? This fight could be a complete embarrassment. But then McGregor may do well. I mean, what's McGregor's chin like? I mean, there's so many different things to consider. You know, what sort of style is McGregor? What's the strategy going to be of McGregor? Is he going to come forward and try and knock Floyd out? I mean, what's he going to do? Is he going to try and outbox Floyd? We know that's not going to happen. He's not going to outbox Floyd. So is he going to rough Floyd up? Well, I can't see him roughing Floyd up no more than a Marcus Maidana tried to rough him up. So throw that out the window. So he's got a puncher's chance. Okay. But how does his punching power fare against one of the strongest or one of the most durable fighters in world boxing? If Sugar Shane Mosley hit him with his best shot and couldn't knock him out, what chances does McGregor have in this fight? So there's so many different questions. But you know what? Let me hear what people in the room are saying. Lakvinder Singh, Mr. Natella, this is a train wreck, and I will definitely be rubbernecking. Says, good seeing room, brother Natty. Modern broadcast. This fight is terrible for the sport of boxing. Marky B.A. Ingram J. Michael says, this fight is terrible for the sport of UFC. Then in comes a DJ Slick. Anyone who says they weren't going to watch this fight is a liar. LOL. Shit fight, but great event. This clearly is nothing other than an event and free money for Floyd. Easy work. Yeah, it's an event. It's not a box. It's an event. You know, UFC versus boxing. It's an event. It's a one-off. We hope. Marky B agrees with TJ Slick there. Andy Murray is going to lace up his boots with Usain Bolt and play for Man United. The only way McGregor beats him is with a bat. Well, a modern broadcaster says McGregor was getting beaten up by Chris Van Heerderen just a few months ago. It's like Muller signing for Bradford Town. Not going to happen. No chance. P. O'Neill says Floyd's cornerman and cutsman, the only who looks like Mr. Miyagi, is going to have quite a night. Anyone who says they wouldn't take this fight if they were Floyd is a liar as well, because it's a great business fight and he hasn't earned it. Now he can cash in for the first time and stamp boxing as #1 over UFC. Or like Matchroom signing Donald Trump to be next heavyweight champion. No chance. Stupid example, but true. I understand what you're saying. His fight at 1547. Fight weight is 154. Okay, but look, I mean, how does McGregor do over 12 rounds? Has he ever fought in a 12-round professional fight? I mean, let's say that style may be effective and very effective for the UFC, but that crap ain't going to work in boxing. I'm sorry. That style is not going to work in boxing. Sorry. No. Legs are too far apart. You know, he's going to be open to the right hand so many times. And who's he sparring with to prepare for Floyd? Who is he sparring with to prepare for Floyd? That, you know, see, McGregor's going to have to box for 12 rounds if it's a 12-round fight. I mean, I don't understand how they sanction this fight. I mean, he's not ranked in the top 10. Not ranked in the top 20. He's not even ranked in the top 100. Where does this fight go? I mean, okay, so if McGregor were to sensationally pull off the upset and beat Floyd, where does this put McGregor? Does this do we have McGregor, Floyd too? And if Floyd were to lose to Conor McGregor, what does that say for the sport of boxing? Do you understand what that would mean if McGregor were to beat Floyd Mayweather? You would have to kind of look cross-eyed and look at people like Pacquiao and Canelo and Cotto and a lot of fighters that today you still have a lot of respect for. You would have to be. So boxing fans are praying. I assure you, they're praying that Floyd does a number on McGregor and the UFC. They're praying that happens. I really... You never know what's going to happen next now. This is becoming like a mockery in the sport. The next thing I'm expecting to see Big Show fight Anthony Joshua for the heavyweight championship of the world. Listen, it's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched. Anything is possible. You've had the Green Arrow, Stephen Amell, jump from the TV show Arrow to jumping across into WWE and on a main event. Yeah, that's happened. You've had James Toney go across and fight Randy Couture. I mean, people will accept and say, all right, he got his arm whooped by Couture, but, you know, Couture's a much better fighter in that rate thing. If Couture were to box, James Toney would be a different matter altogether. Fine. Everybody openly admits and accepts that if Floyd went and fought in the UFC, he'd get his ass kicked. But there seems to be a problem with people admitting, listen, this is a mismatch. Floyd's going to kick McGregor's ass. Nobody will say that. They'll say, oh, you know, well, McGregor kind of stands a chance. If I said to you tomorrow, you know what? Floyd is now signed to fight McGregor in the UFC. You'll kind of look at me sideways and say, what? What the hell is Floyd Mayweather doing fighting McGregor in the UFC and fighting him in the cage? What? People tune in to see how long Floyd can stay upright because he might not get knocked down by a punch, but one of them kicks will knock him over. So I just don't see. I can't understand it. I don't understand the mentality of some people. I really don't. But I can assure you, someone like Skip Bayless will jump up and say, "Oh, he stands a great chance." Oh dear. Last one setting this up for the next super fight with GGG when he beats Canelo for this fight. I can't see him fighting Gennady Golovkin. He doesn't need to fight Gennady Golovkin because Floyd and Golovkin are a million miles apart. Golovkin's fighting his first big fight, major fight. Don't call the Kell Brook a major fight. Don't call Dan Jacobs a major fight. This is his first major fight. How many major fights have Floyd been in through the years? Come on, man. I don't want to hear Gennady Golovkin. Forget Gennady Golovkin. You're talking galaxies apart in terms of achievements. You know what I mean? Hello all. I can't wait for the build though. It's going to be hilarious. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely hilarious. Probably the best thing about this is going to be the press conference. Seeing McGregor on one side of the room, Floyd in the other side of the room. Whether Floyd and McGregor are going to go toe to toe, talking to one another. You want the oil Floyd to come out and start talking trash because, you know, that's the only thing. I don't want to see the Floyd that was at the Pacquiao fight. The problem is when you've got a fight of this magnitude and so many sponsors around the world, you may have people being politically correct and McGregor being very nice. I don't think it's in McGregor's temperament to try and be politically correct and nice. He'll say, he'll say what he says, but it's going to be interesting to see what approach McGregor takes to talking to Floyd, and it'll be interesting to see whether Floyd's going to be Money Mayweather or is going to be Pretty Boy Floyd. Because if he comes out with that mouth and starts talking a whole load of trash, I'd like to see what happens when Floyd tries to trash McGregor. That's going to be a great contest there and then. And the square up is going to be interesting as well. Marky B calls it the ghost with a hammer in his hand. No doubt this will be a great undercard. Jack V cleverly on the undercard. Floyd will knock him out the same way he took out Hatton. I doubt McGregor could even beat Sam Eggington. I doubt it. He's still gonna, but I'm still gonna watch 1% puncher's chance. Don't think Floyd will stop him though. Oh, Floyd will stop him, man. Floyd will stop him. Floyd will stop him. Too much hype about this, says Chris. He will put McGregor down on the floor many times, like Pacquiao did to Chris Algieri. Mr. Boxing Day, McGregor. Mr. Boxing Day, good to see you in the room. In fact, Mr. Boxing Today, if you want to jump in the room, you're more than welcome to. Floyd is going to look like George Foreman in there against McGregor. Brutal. I can see it happening. McGregor's going to get disqualified. I hope he don't use the kicks. I reckon the Sky team would call it 50-50. Oh, my good Lord. Please, not on Sky. I hope not on Sky. I really hope not on Sky. I hope he goes on Box Nation. it'd be great to have someone like Paul Dempsey asking questions before and Mayweather. I don't know who you beat. I don't know who you lost to. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. I see McGregor getting thrown out by Kenny Bayless, possibly. Yo, Mr. Anonymous, give us the Sky. Give us a Sky commentary. Ingram, Alan Smith for joining us and hyping up McGregor's chances. Hello, do the impression of the Sky. Okay. What a mouth-watering contest we've got here. Mouth-watering. Can the old man, Floyd Mayweather, has he still got it? It's an intriguing battle against the man from the UFC, Conor McGregor. He's got that brutal left hand, that sweet left hand versus Floyd, the defensive wizard. What a match between two great fighters from two different worlds, the UFC and boxing. Johnny, what do you make of it? Well, I think this is going to be a 50-50 fight, really, to be honest. You know, because every fighter calls a 50-50 fight because I really can't make my mind up, but it's a 50-50 fight. I mean, McGregor comes into the fight. It really depends if McGregor can land that left hand. If McGregor can land the left hand, then it becomes interesting. We'll just have to wait and see. But we know we've got it exclusively live on Sky Sports. August the 26th. Mark it in your box now. Floyd versus McGregor. It's going to be a good one. You can just see it happening, can't you? I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ. And people will be lapping it up. Who's going to be McGregor's trainer? Well, you get even surprised if Freddie Roach, probably. For flip's sake. Like watching Charlie Edwards against Sonny Liston. Plenty of examples. Ingram Jr. This is reckless for boxing. Reckless. I mean, it's an arm punching from McGregor. Reckless. Wagwan Redwin as ASAP. The press coverage should be at least pay-per-view worthy. Hope the presses don't flop. McGregor won't risk losing a payday by getting disqualified. Now we need Jim Watt and Nick Halling and Nick Appalling Ingram. Wow. Get Gallagher. Perfect training for Collar. Yeah, that's right. If you had Gallagher, it'd be tuck up tight, and then left up to the body. Gallagher's trainer, high guard. LOL. Well, we've got a piece of advice for McGregor if he gets hurt. If he gets hurt, we can use a couple of trainers here and kind of make it like a compilation. Or we can make a compilation of the last kind of couple of months of me watching boxing. I think it would be, if you get hurt and badly hurt, go for a walk. If you know you're fighting against a guy who's got faster hand speed than you, he's a better boxer than you, and better move than you, tuck up tight, left up to the body, and make sure he doesn't shoe shine you, and say that in the 12th round when you've lost 11 rounds unanimously. Or maybe we could have, what other strategies have they got? Let me think what other boxing strategy. Oh, yes. And it's okay if you hit off the break. It's okay. And you knock a hit guy. When a guy's down on the floor, it's okay to hit him because, you know, that's passion. That's passionate. And we like to see that in boxing. Tesco Joe in the corner, Ingle. And have a towel ready. Have a towel ready on your way to the ring. And make sure you've got the towel in your hand from the beginning of the fight. Go for a walk, Connor. A spear one. You can see Connor's instinct throwing a leg. You can see it. I can see a disqualification in this fight. Well, you could see it as well. I mean, you know, or controversial ending. Listen, controversial ending, McGregor, Floyd 2. I mean, when you look at this fight carefully, when you look at the way this fight's been, this event has been structured, I'm not being funny. The only thing missing from this now is Vince McMahon. Because it's that comical of a fight. Really is. It might end up being a very explosive fight for about 3 rounds. It might do. Conor may come out and just come and charge. I mean, I just don't see how. I don't see how Conor sets up. Where's the jab? What's he going to use as a jab? Is he going to use that flick that he's got? Or what's he going to use as a jab? And how's he gonna set up his attack? At least with a Pacquiao, a Canelo, a Cotto, these guys, you knew how they were setting up. With McGregor, you don't know how he's setting up because you've got to take his feet away from him. So he's got a wide stance. I don't know. And he's got a stupid punch he throws with. He throws it and brings his hand back. If he does that sort of stuff against Floyd, Floyd's going to count his ass all night long. All night long. Oh, my God. If I were McGregor, I'd take a injury. If I were McGregor, I'd take an injury. Round one, put two fingers up and say, I'm retired, a rich bitch. Paul Smith, oh, please. You just brought the level of this chat conversation right down. Sorry. And some people just got no sort of... oh, dear. I'm sorry. You said Paul Smith, and I'm going to stop right there. Hello, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. History books look back on Floyd's TBE legacy as laughable. Well, they will do. Do you think this fight happening will spark other matchups to be made, Ingram? I sincerely hope not. I sincerely hope not. And if McGregor were to beat Floyd Mayweather, you would have the UFC just, you know, this is going to end up being like. Now, how you got SmackDown versus Raw? Floyd could be SmackDown and McGregor could be Raw. Then you can have the future of this where teams from the UFC go against boxers and some sort of mixed martial art showdown. You know, Anderson, we probably still can see Anderson Silva versus Roy Jones Jr. I mean, if Floyd doesn't shut this conversation down real quick with McGregor, like how Holly Holm shut down Ronda Rousey, if he doesn't shut this conversation down quick, and McGregor's even close in this fight, it's not good. It really isn't. Can Floyd still pull the trigger? Well, can Floyd pull the trigger? Come on, man. Can Floyd pull the trigger? But he's not been knocked out. He's not been brutally knocked out. He's not exposed. He can pull the trigger. Now, listen. You stand in front of Floyd and ask him if he can pull the trigger. Ask him. You get in the ring with Floyd and ask him if you can pull the trigger, and he'll put one right hand on you, and he say he can't punch. Listen, Floyd can pull the trigger. I got no doubts Floyd will pull, and he will pull the trigger. If Conor McGregor gets smart or brave, he'll pull the trigger on him in a second. I'm not joking. He'll pull the trigger. I got no doubts about him pulling the trigger whatsoever. You know, and Floyd's team are so smart. They're probably about 3 steps ahead of McGregor. Floyd may have been training all this time for the last 6 months, training with UFC fighters. We don't know. We just know he's been in the boxing gym, but Floyd is 3 steps ahead. So I'll wait and see. It's a great opportunity because it also because one of the great things about BWTM Sports now is that we've got the opportunity to invite other people on the channel who are non-boxing. So we're looking to bring in some people from the UFC who do a lot of work in the UFC. It'd be great to hear their opinions on this fight. But I told you, I'm going Floyd. If Floyd were to lose this fight, it would be an embarrassment on the world of boxing. It really would be. I don't think there's much more to talk about at this point. We will try and do our bit of BWTM to give you some stories coming up to this fight. And looking forward to the rematch between Kovalev and Ward this weekend. Now we're talking boxing. But the fact I can see this fight being, you know, it's comical. I want to hear about the deal, how the deal was struck. I want to know what sort of ring is going to be, whether both guys are going to get changed, what gloves they're going to have. Important, what is the weight going to be at? It's a lot of things to talk about. Conor's never gone 12 rounds before. Is it dangerous to have a guy that's never fought 12 rounds who's never done 6 rounds, who's never had a pro fight, going in with the king of boxing. I've got a problem with that. I really have, but it's different. McGregor is going to get hit with punches he's never seen before. The other thing I've got is McGregor's got, and I forgot to mention this, the other thing McGregor's got in his favor is that his unorthodox methods. He's got winning mentality and unorthodox methods. But Floyd has seen this guy get knocked out, or he's seen this guy get hurt with right hands. And let's put it this way. If Diaz can land right hands on McGregor's chin, God forbid what Floyd Mayweather is going to do to him. God forbid. It's going to bring a lot of Irish fans in. It's going to be a super fight. And it probably gross more money than 2 boxers fighting. And I believe this money will make more money than Golovkin, Canelo. I believe. And there's going to be more interest in this fight than Golovkin, Canelo, than Ward, Kovalev. And these are our boxers. The UFC gets behind their fighters. Boxing will sell their fighters down the river. And that's the difference. UFC support their fighters right to the end. Boxing is full of people who are hypocritical, contradictory, backstabbing, backbiting, and bitchy. That's what they are. That's a fact. You know, and we don't do ourselves any favors when you've got commentators that say, is this the last fight of his career? Guy's 30-0, unbeaten, suffers his first defeat, and his career is over. Yep, the UFC fighter has got 4 defeats on his record, gets brutally knocked out, and then the UFC say, you know, he'll come again. And when he comes again, he's a tougher son of a gun. You know, he's still a dangerous fighter. They'll always back their fighter. They'll always back their fighter. And that's what I love about UFC commentary and the way the UFC do their things. The best fight the best. As simple as that. No big negotiations. They're going to fight one another, and that's it. Win, lose, or draw, they get back on the saddle and they fight another top fighter. And that's the way it should be. I think I've said enough, to be honest. I've exhausted this McGregor thing enough. Anybody else got it? Oh, here we go. Got some more people in the room talking. Wow. Oh, wow. It's exploding in the room. England, would this be the biggest upset in history if McGregor KO'd him? Yes. What? Yes. Yes. Roger Mayweather to McGregor's team. You don't know shit about boxing. Ingram, if you were for Floyd, I could see Conor winning after your Klitschko call. Hey, listen. My Klitschko call, Klitschko had Joshua out on his feet and didn't finish the fight off. So just don't go there. Obviously. Andre Durrell's uncle in the corner is going to be back in the ring and sucker punch Floyd, then run off. McGregor's going to give him 10% of the purse. I can see a crowd booing if it's a ball fest. Not that it matters. Both rich after. Is there a rematch clause in the contract? That's what I want to know. England, what would be a bigger upset than Tyson Douglas? What was a bigger upset? Tyson Douglas or Tyson Holyfield? Of course, payday, Conor buying a new caravan with Sky Dish attached to it. McGregor ain't no boxer, I agree. McGregor going to have Durrell's uncle as his trainer. When the ref ain't looking, he's going to chin Floyd. What do you think, Ingram? Only way McGregor loses is if he gets a Achilles injury .2. Please do a video on Paul. No, I'm not going to do a video on Paul Smith. Sorry. It's boxing after all. Are they drug testing? Good question. From David Hay feather fist to from David's feathers to Floyd May feathers. Yo, Ingram, prolific genius, biggest con in boxing. Build up will be more than pay-per-view. The fight. I agree with you. Prolific. It's great to see you in the room, my friend. Some guy talking on his couch. What a debate. Who are you and what rock did you come out of? Could Floyd do a David Hay in this fight, Ingram? No, I don't think he'd do it. No, I don't think he'll do it. Hello, if that happened. Yeah, can you imagine? Still goes 12. Will Khan offer his gym up to McGregor? LOL. Can't do anything for a bit of attention. Thoughts on Paul Smith this weekend? None. The dread. Yeah, but Klitschko still lost. I agree. Lomachenko, no comment. McGregor, still better. Still better start learning to count to 10. Right. Off topic. Don't want to talk about Lomachenko. Don't care about Paul Smith and anybody else. This is McGregor, Mayweather. I've exhausted all I've got to say tonight. Everything goes on its head if Conor wins. Yeah, it does. Thank God this fast will be over soon. I hope so, AZ Boxing, and I hope that Floyd wins. I think boxing fans need to be praying Floyd wins, because if Floyd doesn't win, it's not going to look good in our sport. Not all. In fact, the damage that we've done, our pound for pound number one, getting absolutely his ass handed to him by a UFC fighter, that's not good. That is not good. So you want to hope Floyd wins this fight, because a lot of your favorite fighters are going to look pretty darn stupid afterwards. Floyd is like the main tree, and all these other fighters are off the branches around because they're all attached to Floyd. Not good. It's not good. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Take care.